Hi, and welcome to the BIPOC Perioperative Leaders to Know 2021 edition. My name is Josiah Whitman, and I'm the CEO of Whitman Partners. Today's guest is Jared Kershaw. Jared, in a moment, I'm going to jump into the questions, and we'll have about a 30-minute discussion. But to begin, Jared, will you introduce yourself?
My name is Jared Kershaw. I'm the SPD manager at St. Anne's Hospital.
Well, welcome, Jared, and thank you for joining us today. Jared, let's start here. What drew you into the medical field in the first place?
I wanted to focus on a new career that gave me the opportunity to help people and help save lives.
Okay, great. And when did you start in your management ranks? How long have you been in the management field?
I've been in management for well over about 12 years now. I started as a sterile processing supervisor on night shifts.
Okay. All right. Have you ever experienced or witnessed discrimination in the medical profession? How was it handled? And how did it impact you?
Not in my knowledge, I've ever experienced it, but as a traveler, I've never had an opportunity as a leader in southern states with the credentials and experience I have. So nothing directly, but indirectly that does speak volumes.
Right. In other words, you think that if you were doing contracts in the southern states, maybe it'd be more likely to occur.
It should be more likely to occur, but I haven't had one leadership position in the southern states.
Okay. All right. Well, tell me this. What are your concerns about lack of diversity and inclusion in the operating room? In other words, what can we as executive search firms or hospital administration do to promote and encourage diversity and inclusion in the operating room?
It is very concerning to me. There is not a lot of diversity. I think you guys, as far as leadership and executives, should be more focused on bringing more awareness to sterile processing and other fields in the medical field, as well as promoting exposure to stakeholders, administration staff, uh, in regards to understanding that SPD is one of the most important facilities in the hospital facility.
Sure. Okay, good. And by promoting sterile processing, that's what part of this is about, so that we make sure that people know that people like Jared Kershaw run sterile processing and promote them. But what else could we do to promote sterile processing?
I would say build a bridge of opportunities from the people who are currently going through the crisis of COVID, and build a bridge for them to find new avenues for a new career. Uh, Me finding this career myself, I stumbled upon it working in the OR. So it was no one out explaining or teaching or promoting, hey, this is a new field, this is a great opportunity for a great field, for a new career path. It's not a lot of promotion going on in sterile processing for onboarding for new staff. Either you know about it or you don't.
I see. And you love it, it sounds like.
I am very passionate about this field.
So what were you doing in the operating room when you first got turned on to sterile processing?
I was a patient care technician in New York. You have to get 3 certifications as a CNA, as a phlebotomist, and an EKG technician. So I was all 3 of those certified, working in the hospital, and I was right underneath a nurse. In regards to the next ladder I can go to was to become a nurse. I didn't want to be a nurse after working with them, not because it's not a great career path. It's actually one of the hardest fields in the healthcare field. I just wanted something more hands-on technical as far as instrumentation and things. So I ran across sterile processing, got certified, got my 400 hours, and started in that field, and I haven't left since.
Interesting. Okay. And so what certification did you get? There's a couple that are well known. Which one are you?
I have 2. I'm certified through CRCST, Certified Instrument and then also CHL, Certified Healthcare Leadership. And I'm also going for the provision certification from ISHM, which is I have to write a book, 250 pages dissertation. I have to go to Chicago, and they're gonna pick at my book and ask me questions, kind of like a dissertation.
Right.
And that's the highest certification you can receive with ISHM. I'm also working on that as well.
Well, I want to hear about all that. So I want to come back to CHL in a moment, but let's go back to your 250-page dissertation with Isham. Once you, let's just say you defend it and you get the reward for the dissertation. What will be the certification? What will be the acronym that you get?
It would be I don't really know the acronym. It's really like it's not really promoted actually. Only 1% of people in the field have it. It's one of the highest credentials. So that question I would have to figure out once I obtain it. I'll be able to answer that question. But
Right.
it does help me publish a book in the field and be a publisher of sterile processing, as well as it gives me understanding in a direction of what this field has impacted me and how I impacted this field is one of the questions to answer the book.
Do you have a topic already?
Yes, it's I'll leak it. I wasn't gonna be able to share it, but it's called the "If the Bowels Don't Work, How Can the Body Function?" The underworld of sterile processing.
Interesting. Well, that's terrific. And we broke some news today. Um, and that is great. I have not heard of it. I have not heard of the 250-page defense of a dissertation concept, but it does sound like that would be a exclusive certification that someone that has a large organization, UCLA Medical Center, Cleveland Clinic, that they would probably look for something like that. And certainly that's probably, if you're aspiring to move up in terms of income, in terms of responsibility, that sounds like right in line with what your ambition might take you, where it might take you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's go back to certified health leader. So I'm not as familiar with that. Talk me through what a certified health leader does.
So, in order to get that certification, you have to be a certified tech in the field for 5 years. And then you go for another exam as a leader. And it's the exam with Isham. It's about a 3-hour exam. I was in there, people with lawyers taking the bar exam. It's a very extensive exam. And what they're asking you is basically things that leaders should know instantly in regards to the field of sterile processing. So I obtained that in 2017, and it taught me basically to understand that not only am I certified as a leader in the field with the experience, but I'm also re-educated every year through ISHM to prove that I'm supposed to stay in this direction as a leader in the certified healthcare leadership role.
That's terrific. Well, congratulations. And it sounds like Isham has been helpful to sort of orient your career through your certifications and provide some continuous learning and lifelong learning.
Yes, Isham is the foundation of my career, meaning whenever I'm lost on my career path or the direction, they always reinvent something new towards the future of where sterile processing plans on going. So
Well, that's
if you're
terrific.
geared towards the future of sterile processing, you must be in alignment with Isham and where they are going.
Great. Great insight. Let's turn our attention back to some BIPOC-oriented questions. Do you have any advice for the aspiring BIPOC leader?
Yes, I do. My advice to the aspiring leaders of tomorrow are to basically, you can't teach what you don't know, and teach you can't teach what you don't know, and make sure that you teach the whys as well as the what. So not only teach them what you know, but what I do with my staff that separates me from others is I teach them why as well. Because that's very important at 12 o'clock at night when my staff is by themselves. and I ask them to do something, they might not understand why. So they might not think it's a level of importance. But if I tell them why and how it affects the patient, it always sinks into their mind to remember to do it and to follow suit moving forward.
Terrific. Terrific. Thank you. Good insight. Okay. So what, in your opinion, is the best way? Let's talk about COVID and vaccine hesitancy. Historically, as we know, there's been some hesitancy in the Black community about the vaccines. In your opinion, what is the best way that we can overcome some of that hesitancy?
I would say education and how it affects the community with health and awareness will bring more attention and awareness in that area with the
Okay.
Black community and any community. Just education and awareness of what the vaccine is, why do we need it, and the importance of being vaccinated instead of non-vaccinated.
Very good. Very good. Okay. And then last question, what is your favorite book or a current read related to your leadership philosophy or the BIPOC experience that has impacted you?
One of my favorite books in a leadership form, I would say, has to be Jesus Christ CEO. Is one
Okay.
of my favorite books. That individual author wrote that book from a biblical standpoint, but she actually was talking mostly on a leadership standpoint. And she bridged how Jesus was a leader in his time and certain things that he went through and how he overcame them. And she related it to present time on how to be a leader. That is a book that every leader must read, Jesus Christ, CEO.
Terrific. That's an excellent suggestion. Thank you very much. Well, good. That concludes today's video of BIPOC Perioperative Leaders to Know, Jared Kershaw edition. Thank you, Jared, for your insights today. And have a wonderful rest of your day. And thanks again for being available for our series today.
Thank you for having me, and have a wonderful day. And I really appreciate this opportunity. It's an honor.
Thanks, Jared. Keep up the great work.